All right, peace, peace, peace. Yeah, man, I'll go into this, man, because you know what? It's just more of first of all, foremost, hopefully, the most on your house shall blessing y'all day. I'll go into this because it's just more of with the whole selection thing or election thing too. I mean, but shout out to brother sent me firstborn too because he's doing like little classes series about little children. The one First John, stay away from idols, or Ezekiel, get the idols out your heart, man. But you know, with this too, a lot of times like with this whole like this the aftermath. Cause I ain't gonna talk about this because one like your house I said my kingdom is not of this world. I don't really care about what's going on, man. It was all that stuff was like, like brother sent me firstborn said like center problems, man. I was actually talking about them with my homie. Even other people outside the word not paying that attention, man. Like, because they get what this is. It ain't really nothing to go into about it. You don't have to go on each like every 4 years, Lord willing that we're alive, or even in the past. You don't have to go into like, going on these like different politicians or entertainers or whatever, because you know what they're about. One, because it's part of entertainment industry. We know most of the time we know what they're about, and also too, like I did that video on voting, man. Somebody that's if that's their honestly, like I had a conversation with brother, elder brother, a few weeks ago, and when I was at the bank, like and he explained why he voted, like because old me would probably be like, oh brother, I wouldn't have been contentious, but I've been like, okay, no brother, I've been like more trying to make it seem my ways. Like listen, brother, not realizing okay, that's another a human being with another opinion. But hey, if that man seemed fit as voting makes a difference, a change, then then hey man, that's just that's fine. You're like hey that's their business. Listen, but I said it to say man because all this stuff too is like this is yeah, but even more people like outside the word as well. Outside the word as well as kind of like realizing this too. But yeah, man, it's no get because we know these senators. Listen, man, there's no reason to go into that, man. It's more all stuff like that goes into, man. But it's more of pushing things on. It's more of like this this is more realizing spirit, a psychological aspect of this. Because I was just reading letter of Jeremiah, in the Apocrypha. I was just reading that, like and it goes into something like it's all psychological, man. Like things, man. Because I remember saying this too, like because a lot of times, like because I used it as a segue to talk about this, but it's kind of similar dynamic. Let's get to Jeremiah actually 17, um, 17 real quick, man. Cause yeah, that's why I said, listen, the kingdoms now is we're one, the inner kingdom. That's why we're like I'm more focused on that physical kingdom, but also too, man, like it's no being man, because even like how Shaw was on the scene, man, he really wasn't worried about like what the Romans had going on, man. It is even like even they did that. They did a good job of that. Like even like what Esau had back going on back then, man, and the Romans had going on back there. Because even when Book of Clarence, like they did a good job of that, man. Even though the movie, most of the movies pretty much is about Clarence, but even though like the house I was like even when you read the word, even when you read the gospel, even read the word, he during that time, man, he wasn't worried about what they had going on, man. So it's like, is what it is, man. So like that's why like I really didn't. I was actually talking about this with my homie, like he was saying the same time. I was like, man, I didn't like this whole thing. I didn't pay attention to none of it. I don't what really like and the same thing about. Let me say this too. I will say this too because this is my personal perspective, man. I think the most thing about like honestly, because I can't speak to Harriet's or whatever, can't speak to her, but I think the most, because I remember 2016, I remember 2016, what's called like being at McDonald's, when Trump got elected, man, and seeing people's faces, it was like, oh my gosh, you thought like Lord Pearl Harbor or Titanic or something was Hiroshima or something like not like making fun of those things, not making like especially Hiroshima because a lot of people our people quite skipped out in that too. But you would thought that something happened like but I was just like all right whatever. But but I say that to say man because like I think people biggest thing with you know Trump is like my people biggest thing with him. I think he represents the last of Mohican as far as like even beyond him being like people thinking he's racist things and nature. I mean, listen, y'all like if he is he I don't know. It is what it is. Listen, he's an older Edomite. He's an old so called Caucasian rich. If he is like okay, but it is what it is. But my point being is that because I don't really care about that. He just represents. I think people's problem with him. I speak as a man, like he just represents the last Mohican as far as like masculine authority and like of course that's with this world like that Jeremiah 31:22 happening like of course people aren't like aren't going to like that like and especially for our people Isaiah 3:12 and also too with the world this every nation because it's trickling down every nation. Like a lot of times too, like quiet as kept. But even though over in the Middle East stuff like that, they don't play that. But slightly, it's starting to get into that. Like Jeremiah 31:22, like because it's a new thing in earth. The woman should compassion the man, things of that nature. But he represents that as far like But it is. That's why I think people like his biggest gripe with him is. But also too, man, I think that like honestly, Trump for me just so far. Me, I was actually watching it a few weeks ago. I think he's like from Pocahontas. He's just a Radcliffe type. He's just like the Radcliffe, like how he just wanted power and money. That's just he would probably screw over his own to he would screw over his own to get the power and wealth, man. So I think that's just more of with him. Like that's why I don't really. That's why I get off just from afar because I don't know the man, but that's just is what it is with that man. But segue into that man, let's get this Jeremiah 17 real quick, man, because because one you gotta realize like even my brother, man, he said, listen, man, we're seeing this is prophecy, man. This is all like hey, man, like even the Most High in Yahshua, man, like he's gonna like yeah, man, like even it's right. Like I was talk about this with my brother, my actual one of my brothers, it's from Chicago, man. It's listen more like even like when we talk all the time, he said more even natural people are starting to wake up and realize like something's going on, man, because it's all written to happen, man. So that's why like this is like our spiritual newspaper, man. But also too, man, it's realize listen. This all stuff written to happen, so like of course we're living in it. So it's like watching a movie over again. It's like okay, like in the moment it's gonna shock you, but you realize like you've seen this movie already, you know what's gonna happen, but it's because you're in the moment, you're still gonna do it. But somebody has to do it. So, but that's what that Romans 3:1 says. What profit, like that what profit does advantage did you have, man? So it's like this is our advantage that we is that the Most High House. I just said, all right, these things are gonna happen, but but honestly, even that whole Matthew 24, man. Yahushua said I didn't send this to my send it to him. Like he said all these awards, rumors of awards, stuff like that. Don't even think about that too, because a lot of times too, I think not only like people in the word in the knowledge like do this as well. That's just people in general too. Like it's not always conducive to line up with something that's happening currently with the world, saying like okay, this is like this exactly the thing is in the word, because like it's kind of like it's because like somebody even said this. One of the brothers, I forgot what they said. Listen, we ain't the news. We're not the we're not the daily news, man. We're service to the Most High House, man. We're not just like hey, listen, we're just reading articles, things about what's going on. And, hey, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But it's like, listen, that's not really like the Rashad Bro Kwame call, man, because it's like okay, like we can go into end time prophecy and and things of that nature, but it's like how do we get out of it though? This is like the old. Like I say all the time, man, like those old cartoons. Okay, we're tied to the trolley. I mean, it's a train track, and I'm just constantly going to the person next to me. Oh man, you're tied to the train track, right? You know the train's coming. You know the train's coming. Yeah, they know that. How do we get out of it? That's the thing. Like and like shout out to Kwame Cole and brother Mashah, even brothers like Akawar and brothers and Assembly Firstborn, other brothers. Like the Most High House shot, they always provided a way out. And that's why that second address says focus on the ones that's like the ones focus on being saved, man. Like this one serve the Most High fear and trembling and work out your own salvation. Like don't be, it is time to go into that to go into parts of Revelation, second address, Jeremiah, Daniel. Yeah, man. But like it is what it is with that. But anyway. Jeremiah 17 verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart has departed from the Lord. I'll just read the verse 7. Verse 7. It says, Blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is. Like, let's get to Isaiah 26:4 now. Yeah. Yeah. It says, uh, trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is is everlasting strength. So yeah, man. Did I say Lord Jehovah in the last video? That I probably did, but in the right, it says about Lord Yahweh, but it is what it is. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's just is what it is too with that, man. So, but I say it to say too, cause like that's why a lot of times too, like like yeah, cause that's why like we live in a world full of idolatry, man. So like I was reading this in letter of Jeremiah, but you know. Cause yeah, but this is like and I said to say, cause too, shout out to Brother Chronicles of Judah, cause years ago he mentioned this. He said, listen, man, like these, yeah, no, this is perfect. Like these entertainers, these politicians, whether they be in sports or politicians, whether it be politicians in the sports world, music world, or different parts of the entertainment world, things of that nature. They were here to replace the gods of old. And I was reading letter of Jeremiah, and I was thinking about what Chronicles Judah said like a while back, some years ago. And that's a fact, man, because if you read the letter of Jeremiah, it's going to the idolatry that's going on and other gods being served in Babylon. How the Most High said, listen, don't even don't even be up that. Pretty much being pretty saying, let's read this, man, because it's like this is kind of like you even if you're of the world, man. Even when you worship like no other gods, it's of the world, pretty much. That's why I said Acts says what that's why I know, and not Acts. That's why that whole thing with Moses and with the serpent and with Pharaoh was in like that whole account was about like the Most High Yahshua's knowledge is stronger than the world's knowledge, man. That's like that was symbolic of what Paul said. Listen, the full knowledge of the world is foolishness to the Most High, man. Because and that's what the reason why it's serpents, because what did Yahushua said? What, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So that's what that was about, the wisdom of the Most High Yahushua. Pretty much, and Pharaoh's wisdom being the wisdom of the world, and they worship other gods, those Egyptians. But let's get this letter, Jeremiah 1:5. It says, beware therefore that ye no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye and of them. See, then like John, like he said in John, don't be of the world, or like James says, the world is an enemy to help friends with the world, enemy of the Most High. And then Yahushua said, I'm not of this world, so be of them. When you see a multitude before them and behind them, worshiping them. Yeah. So let's go to verse 32, because yeah, man, this goes to show you there's nothing new on the sun, man. Because they roar and cry before their gods as men do at feasts when one is dead. So yeah, man. So that's why I mentioned the other time. I mean a while back as well. How when certain like there's no new on sun, because like the Word Chronicles just said, the celebrities, all these people now, they're just pretty much a replacement. Because one, people still worship those gods. Don't get that twisted. Just in a different remix way. But also too, that's where those people now they're replacements of that. Now the gods are old, man. Because that's why a lot of times when people cry and weep and stuff like that, especially when when confused 4 years ago when Kobe died, or I remember years ago when Michael Jackson died. It was that was crazy. It was damn. But but that's why people were they're here to replace the gods of old. So let's get that as well. They roar and cry before their gods, and as men do as a feast when one is dead. So yeah. So yeah, man, that's what they are. They're here to replace God's old. But this is kind of good time to be talking about this with the whole aftermath, the whole selection or election thing, whatever. But that's why I brought that on Jeremiah. But also too with that too, yeah, because that's why they have shrines and things of that nature, and all this stuff when certain celebrities or hell shoot even certain regular people pass away, man. It's not good to yeah, even Wisdom of Solomon says that it's you gotta weep though, but you gotta weep in the healthy way though, because a lot of times, listen, that's going to affect somebody for the rest of their life, but you don't let your life, don't let that dictate your life. Hence, Kanye West, for example, but that's what Wisdom of Solomon says. Listen, a man lost a son, now he made an image of him, now he made not worship him as God. So, but I say that to say, man, like, yeah, that's really what they come from. Like when certain celebrities die or notable people die, it's like how even to this day, like that happens like that. But it's hard we live in idolatrous world. It's idolatry, but also too is a balance to that too. Because don't get like let me get like let me say this to get some like understanding. It's more like too with that, like I said, it's more a psychological thing as well. Because certain times it's not always just about the person; it's what the person represented in their life. Because a lot of times, like I say that with Kobe, a lot of people like watch Kobe growing up, like especially if you're in L.A. area or all over from the basketball world. But say if you grew up in California, like you watch them play, you watch them play with your loved ones. So when he died, when he passed away, things of that nature, when really removed, but that's something neither here nor there. But when it does something to somebody because it takes them back to the time like growing up, things of that nature. Like even when certain musicians pass away, it takes people do that because it's like it takes them back to a time where a certain song came on with their loved one that might have passed away, or there's memories with them, like and that they more represent a memory they have with the person when these people pass away. Now most of the cases, of course, the main one is idolatry, but still it's more of a psychological thing as well. Because even I remember when shoot, a couple times. Yeah, actually, no, man. I was texting one of the brothers too. Like, when there's actually a recent rapper in Brooklyn died, Kai, man. He just texted me and said, "Damn, man, Kai died." I was like, "Damn." I was like, "Yeah, man." Even when no, this past summer, actually, I had met him though one time. Cool, Chino XL, like died. I was like, "Oh man, that's crazy, man." Because like one, I did meet him. It's cool guy, and but also too, like I remember like shoot, even years ago with DMX died, I was like, damn man, because that was part of memories of me and my pop. That's his favorite artist of all time, man. He would ride around like playing that all the time, man. So it takes him back to the memories people had. But also too, when I remember Sean Price like died, like I remember that vividly too, like cause that was all my high school and junior years. I was really getting into that, like with Helter Skelter. Those that follow the rap world, y'all rap, especially that era, golden era, rap underground, that golden era. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then it's what it is. I was just fond and when he died, it was crazy. So it's more of a psychological thing as well, man. Like this is more it gets to you, like damn, like that just um um you know does something it takes you back in time. It's more of that said person represents a memory they have with somebody, or a personal memory they have with themselves once people go. But this all the root of it is all idolatry. But sometimes it's not even. Sometimes it's more of a psychological thing as well. So yeah, man, I just want to touch on that, man, because that's what these people like with the aftermath of the election, things of that nature, and also what I think I touched on in the past, like these with the it's just more of because we live in just an idolatrous world, man. So that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. Yeah, man. So peace.